Hi, beautiful people. I know it's been a while that I've been here. Trying to see if my video is clear. Okay, good. Yeah. Hello, my beautiful people. I know it's been a while that you've seen me or heard from me. I've been busy with a lot of things. Sometime last month, I was done with school. Then now I'm settling down into work life and still struggling to find my way around quite a number of things. I'm trying to find the balance that I need here. So that's what I've been up to. So quick one, I want to do this video today. So there's this trend that I've noticed among parents, parents that migrated from Nigeria. I'm going to talk about that because I'm a Nigerian. Parents that migrated from Nigeria and they found their way to the western part of the world. And, in recent times, the people I've come across, I've had conversations with them, then I get to know that these people at some point they were church people, they were going to church, they adored their pastor, and then they got to a point where they felt that the pastor disappointed them and everything that the pastor had been preaching about, telling them about, turned out to be a lie because of one thing or the other that the pastor did. And yes, so because of that, they made up their mind that they were done with being church people. So they cut, ties with church. They found their ways here into the western part of the world, different countries all over the world. And I'm going to talk about somebody that I encountered recently here in Canada. She found her way here and then she stopped being a church person and then she starts these conversations and then she goes on and on about how church is busy deceiving people, church being a lie and all that. And at some point, I got uncomfortable with that conversation that we were having. So I just kept quiet then. But I remember that what I told her was that that's why it is important that as a person, you know God for yourself. Don't know the pastor. Don't use the pastor as a standard. Let Jesus be your standard. Know God for yourself so that you'll not be disappointed when your pastor does the wrong thing. Because at the end of the day, your pastor is just human. Now, this person that I'm talking about, I'm having conversations with her daughter, and the daughter is a teenager, and the things that she's saying, they made me so uncomfortable. She's busy using the F word. She's saying all the dirty words that you can think of, using the F word, speaking in a very uncouth manner. And she was just saying all manners and kinds of things. And this woman too, when she's talking about her children. She's talking, saying, oh, there's no stupid thing. I've not heard from you, this and that and all that. And in my mind, I'm like, how can you be talking like this about your children? Because I'm a mom, I love my children, I adore them. I know that children can do many things wrong, but as parents, we are meant to correct them and show them the right path. Yeah. So she's saying these things, calling her children stupid and everything. And this girl, the teenage daughter, is busy saying all kinds of manners of things, all kinds of uncouth expressions, using the F word and all that. And I just, tried to put a stop to that conversation centering on church and church people and all that. Then in my mind, I'm now thinking that, so say for instance now, you are a parent, you are somewhere trying to parent your children, right? Trying to raise them in the way of the world. Oh, sorry, trying to raise them in the way of the Lord. You are busy doing what you know best to raise your children properly. While you are busy trying to raise your children properly, there are other parents out there in the world that are failing in their responsibilities. They are not raising their children properly. The two of you would release your children to go out and they will meet in the world and then they will mingle. And then these children want to marry. You find a child that is well brought up, marrying a child that is not well brought up. Then along the line in the marriage, there's going to be issues, you know. So as much as you are being intentional about raising your children properly, I feel that you should also go the extra mile to guide your children into the relationships that they would enter into. I know that the saying is that from the times of our grandparents and all that, and quite a number of our parents, that their parents introduced them to the people that they were going to get married to as spouses. Every marriage has its challenges, right? But these people, they were able to sustain their marriages because that was how it was done in the times of old. I think we're going to go back to that times of old where parents would introduce their children to children from families that they can vouch for. Christian families, if you're a Christian, Muslim families, if you're a Muslim, and families that are traditional worshippers, if that is what you believe in, so that you set your children on the right path, like, right? You've done your best to raise your children properly. They will mingle with the right set of children that are equally raised properly, and then their marriage will work. Life will throw them challenges, but because they are believers sharing the same faith, they will face those challenges and they would conquer, and their marriage would work. Hmm? And that's how you continue your legacy, right? And hand over the good thing to the next generation, and their generation hands it over to their own, to the generation coming after them, and that's how you pass on good from generation to generation. But if you are busy raising up your child properly and you release them into the world, they are going into the world to meet those children that are not properly raised. They are going out into the world to meet those children that are not well brought up. And guess what that union is going to be at the end of the day? A disaster. Yeah, you heard me right. A disaster. In my little life that I have lived, I'm just a little over 40 and I've seen things. Yeah, I've seen things. I've seen children from well brought up home, marry the wrong set of people, and they're just going to throw a clog in the wheel of their progress. And then you see these children struggle. For some of them that are lucky, God helps them, they come out of that marriage unscattered, right? But they will have wounds, but they will heal over time, right? But I think as parents, we need to go the extra mile as you're raising your children, as you're parenting right. When it comes to the time for your children to enter into relationships, I think you should go a step further and introduce them to Christian homes where you can vouch for those parents, they can vouch for their children, and then you settle your children's future with God's help. If you're a Muslim, you introduce them to your fellow Muslims that have children that are well brought up. As you are doing this, you let your children know, because these children, they will ask you questions. They ask questions and they need to get the answers. And you let them know, this is why I'm doing this, right? If you're unlucky and you have, stories of, people that have gone into the wrong marriages and everything, you can tell them, so that you let them know that this that I'm doing is for your own good. I pray that God helps us to parent right. I pray that God will help us so that we parent right. As we are parenting right, our children will not make the wrong decisions, marry the wrong spouses that would alter the course of their destiny. And I pray that as parents, the Lord will help us to parent right. The Lord will give us grace to be good examples for our children to follow. My parents' wedding anniversary was just this week. That's their 43rd wedding anniversary. And I look at my dad and my mom and I adore their relationship. Of course, they have their challenges, as every marriage would, but I mean, if there's any marriage that I look up to and I admire so much, it's my parents' marriage. I see the way my dad treats my mom. I know love firsthand because of the way my parents relate with each other. Yeah, so I'm going to put a stop here, and I'm going to wish you the best and just hope that you enjoy the rest of your weekend and take care of yourself. Bye. You'll see me in my next video. Bye bye.